The moment I stepped into Amara's family compound again, I knew I did not belong there anymore. Even the air felt heavier. Her father looked at me with eyes filled with years of anger. Her mother stood frozen near the doorway, and then I saw Amara for a second. I almost did not recognize her. The light that used to live inside her eyes was gone. She looked thinner, quieter, like life had slowly drained the joy out of her, piece by piece. And when she looked at me, I saw something I deserved: rage, pure rage. I had imagined this moment 1,000 times during the time I stayed away. But now that I finally stood before her, I realized something painful. No apology could undo what I had done. Because the truth was simple: I destroyed her life. And the worst part was, there was a time I truly loved her. When I first met Amara, life felt softer around her. She had a kindness that made you feel ashamed for lying to her, innocent, gentle. The kind of woman who believed words because her heart had never learned to fear them. And I was good with words, too good. I knew exactly how to make her smile, exactly how to make her feel safe. Sometimes, even while speaking, I knew I was promising more than I could give, but when she looked at me with those trusting eyes, I kept talking anyway. Amara, I used to tell her, one day we'll build a home together. And at the time, part of me wanted to believe it too. But love is easy when life is soft. Reality changes people. Back then, I was struggling more than anyone knew. No stable money, no direction. Every day felt like I was drowning quietly while pretending to swim. But around Amara, I became the version of myself I wished was real. Confident, certain, fearless. Then slowly, fear started catching up with me. I began disappearing for days because I could not handle the pressure building inside my head. Sometimes I avoided her calls because hearing her voice reminded me of the future I was pretending I could provide. Still, nothing prepared me for the day she told me she was pregnant. I still remember how she looked beneath that mango tree, nervous, hopeful, smiling through fear because she trusted me completely. Then she said the words, "I'm pregnant." And suddenly, everything inside me collapsed. All I could think about was myself, my future, my struggles, my fear. I wish I could say I reacted like a man. I didn't. I reacted like a coward. The panic inside me became so loud. I searched for escape instead of responsibility. So I said the cruelest thing I could possibly say: how do I even know it's mine? Even now, remembering those words makes me hate myself. Because the truth is, I knew Amara loved me, honestly. I knew she would never betray me. But fear can turn a weak man into a cruel one. And that day, I became cruel. When I walked away from her beneath that tree, I told myself I just needed time to think. But one day became two became weeks, and shame slowly turned into silence. Every day that passed made returning harder. At first, I planned to go back. I even walked toward her compound several times. But each time I reached the road leading there, fear stopped me. Sometimes I stood far away beneath the trees, just watching the compound silently from a distance. Watching lights go out one after another at night. Watching her mother sweep the compound in the mornings. Watching life continue without me. Then the gossip started spreading through the village. People talked about Amara everywhere. And instead of standing beside her, I hid. But guilt would not leave me alone as time passed. I heard she had given birth to a baby boy, my son. The words shook something inside me. For days, I could not sleep properly. I kept imagining him. Did he look like me? Did he cry loudly? Did he sleep peacefully? Eventually, the guilt became too heavy to ignore. So one night, I went to her compound secretly. I waited until everyone had fallen asleep. Then quietly, I climbed through the back fence. My heart was beating so loudly, I thought someone would hear it. I moved slowly toward the small window beside Amara's room. And then, I saw him, little Kamsi, sleeping beside his mother. Tiny, fragile, peaceful. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. That was the first time I truly understood what I had abandoned. My son. My blood. I wanted to walk inside. I wanted to hold him. But then Amara turned slightly in her sleep and let out a soft cry. Even in her sleep, she sounded wounded. That sound destroyed me. And suddenly, shame dragged me backward again. I left before sunrise. But after that night, I kept coming back again and again. Sometimes just to stand outside and watch Kamsi sleeping through the window. Sometimes just to hear him breathing softly in the darkness. Sometimes I left small amounts of money hidden near the doorway or beneath containers outside, hoping Amara would find them the next morning, without knowing they came from me. It was foolish, cowardly. Even I was helping from the shadows, because I was too weak to face the damage I caused directly. There were nights I watched Amara carrying Kamsi on her back, our returning home exhausted from work nights. I saw her sitting outside alone, while rocking him gently nights. I heard him crying from hunger inside the room, and every single time, guilt tore deeper into me. Still, I remained hidden, because every day I delayed returning made the shame worse. Eventually, I left the village for work in another town. I told myself I needed stability first, money first, a place to stay first. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was running from what I had done. Still, I carried Kamsi's memory everywhere. Sometimes I woke up in the middle of the night imagining him crying, sometimes while working. I suddenly remembered the tiny way his fingers curled while sleeping beside Amara, and the guilt never stopped growing. Then one night, I returned quietly to the village again, like always. I sneaked toward Amara's compound after midnight. I planned only to watch Kamsi from a distance one more time before leaving again. But that night felt different immediately. The compound was too quiet. Then I saw Amara. She stepped out carrying Kamsi tightly against her chest. At first, I thought maybe he was sick. But something about the way she walked frightened me, slow, broken, like someone carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. So I followed her from a distance through the dark village roads, confused, worried, terrified. Eventually, she reached the old roadside bus stop. And then, I watched the worst moment of my life unfold before my eyes. I watched Amara sit there crying, while holding our son. I watched her kiss his forehead again and again. I watched her place that note inside his wrapper. Then finally, I watched her walk away. At first, I could not move. I was too shocked to even breathe. Then Kamsi started crying, and something inside me broke completely. The moment Amara disappeared into the darkness, I ran toward the bench. My hands shook as I picked him up. He was cold, crying, tiny hands reaching helplessly into the air. And for the first time in my life, I felt the full weight of the man I had become. Because everything that happened that night started with me. I held him tightly against my chest while he cried. "I'm sorry," I whispered over and over again. "I'm sorry." That night, I made a decision. If I could not undo my sins against Amara, then maybe I could at least save our son. I left the village before sunrise, carrying Kamsi with me. At first, I had no idea what I was doing. I barely knew how to care for a baby. There were nights he cried endlessly, and I sat awake terrified something was wrong. Sometimes I carried him for hours because he refused to sleep unless someone held him close. Sometimes he stared at me with Amara's eyes, and guilt nearly crushed me alive. I worked every small job I could find: construction, loading buses, cleaning shops, anything that kept food on the table. At first, caring for Kamsi felt impossible. Some mornings, I carried him with me while searching for work because I had nobody to leave him with. But over time, I found an elderly woman in the neighborhood who agreed to watch him during the day for a small payment. Whenever I went to work, her house was tiny, simple, but safe. Every morning before sunrise, I wrapped Kamsi carefully against my chest and carried him there before heading to work. And every evening, no matter how exhausted I was, I hurried back to pick him up. Sometimes, she comes to my small apartment to take care of Kamsi whenever I have to be away for a while. Sometimes he cried the moment I tried leaving him. Sometimes he reached for me with those tiny hands, and guilt nearly tore me apart. Because every time I looked into his face, I saw Amara. Slowly, life became more stable. Not easy, but stable enough to survive. I rented a small room, bought baby food, paid for Kamsi's care during the day, learned how to calm him whenever he cried at night. And somewhere during that difficult period, something inside me changed. For the first time in my life, someone depended on me completely. And failure was no longer just hurting me, it was hurting him too. Still, no matter how much I cared for Kamsi, the guilt never disappeared. Because while I was raising our son, Amara was somewhere suffering, believing her child was gone forever. There were times I almost returned immediately to confess everything, but fear stopped me every time. What if she hated me too much to listen? What if she never forgave me? What if taking Kamsi that night only made me a different kind of monster? Still, I knew I could not hide forever, and eventually, I realized something painful. No matter how terrified I was, Amara deserved the truth. So after spending all that time running, I finally came back. Not because I believed I deserved forgiveness, not because I thought words could erase the damage, but because carrying the truth alone had become unbearable. So I stood there, silently at the gate, staring at the woman whose life I destroyed, knowing that the next words out of my mouth would either heal something or destroy what little remained of both of us.